While Palworld continues to shatter records, selling over 30 million copies, I wanted to talk about the future of Palworld and the direction that they're going in. But before we get into that, let's discuss their current plans and everything that we know is that's coming down the pipeline. So here, let's talk about what we know that's coming out right now. So I I split this up between men, women, and children, and you'll see why in a few minutes. Just bear with me here, please. So Palworld 1.0, massive hit, 30 million copies sold. I put this primarily under the men category because I feel like with the shooting and the gunplay, this is mostly geared towards men, but personally, my wife loves this game. I think women still do like this game, but I think it's a little geared towards men. Now, the reason why I say that is because Pocketpair is following the same strategy that Nintendo followed, where they dominate in various verticals and they want to capture the entire market, not just a subset of the market. So, Palworld 1.0, right? You're out there, you're hunting, you're shooting guns, you're fighting, you're attacking. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's a great game. I've been obsessed with it. And that's why I put this under the men category. I feel like it's a little more geared towards men. Again, doesn't mean women can't play it, but I feel like this is geared towards men and just guys that grew up watching Pokemon. Um, but then you'll notice that Pocket Pair immediately started announcing their strategy to target younger audiences and women as well. I mean, and that's with Pal Farm. I mean, Pal Farm is pretty much um, it's pretty much Pokopia meets Animal Crossing. I mean, come on. You're on a remote island, you're doing these small little tasks, there's no combat, you're just managing your farm or whatever and taking care of your little village on a remote island. It's a cozy game. It's a cozy game. And next you have Pal World Online. Pal World Online is it's essentially a mobile version of Pal World 1.0, but stripped out um stripped out combat essentially, or easy combat. Let me actually just double check that. I mixed the two up. I mean, one thing I will say is Pal World Online and Pal World Mobile, they definitely need to change those names up because I keep mixing them up. So Pal World Online reimagines the core Pal World experience for mobile with streamlined touch-friendly interface, one-touch controls, seamless open world, yeah, narrative story, almost PvE. Okay, so it's not as combat oriented as um Pal World 1.0. And now you have toys and plushies and clothing, which I didn't even know there was a thing. I just saw on my timeline someone was talking about finding Pal World toys on Walmart and Target shelves. So yeah, they're quickly following the Nintendo playbook. Like, they are not messing around here. Now, Pal World Mobile, this is actually being made by the team that makes I'm sorry, that makes PUBG. It's actually PUBG Studios, Crafton. They're making Pal World Mobile, and Pal World Mobile is essentially Pal World 1.0, but just touch interface and touch controls on a phone. But you're still doing pretty much everything exactly the same as is the current game, but it's just on a phone. So that I probably should have put this under both Pal World Mobile, but I feel like um, the the market for women more leans more towards mobile games from what I've read. This probably could have been more under both though. Now, again, now the recently released trading card game. I mean, that just came out a week or two ago, and you can't find it anywhere. It's sold out everywhere. I wanted to let me see if I could. I got my hands on a booster box with 12 packs, but now I'm afraid to open it because there's actually a spelling error on the corner. It's Pal Word. It sucks because I actually do want to collect these, and I do want to rip some cards. Um, these are selling like hotcakes, man. You can't find these anywhere. I did also get my hands on the trial decks, which each come with a booster. I'm excited. I'm actually going to open these. I might do these on another video if you guys are interested. I'll rip them right on a video. And hang on a sec. I bought this guy on eBay for $4. This is Bushi, my favorite pal. Um, he said I think the SR rarity. It's like not the super rarest card, but man, Bushi's just so freaking cool, man. He's awesome. I love having this card. I'm so glad I picked this up on. So yeah, TCG's popping off, and people just a few weeks ago were saying this was gonna be dead in the water. I don't know, man. There's another booster pack coming out in October. Uh, they're crushing it, man. I mean, Palworld, Pocketpair had the playbook already written. They weren't figuring this out as they were going. I mean, the game 1.0 just came out in what? The early access came out 2 years ago. They hit the ground running with this, and I'm so impressed. We got the 1.0 game smashing success, 30 million copies sold, probably a couple more now, million more now. That was a month ago. The TCG, you have Pal Farm coming out, Pal World Online and the mobile game. You have toys, plushie, clothing. And yes, this is not a joke right here. This is a dating sim game. So apparently this came out as an April Fool's joke, I think last year or the year before. And it went so viral that apparently they are actually making this game. This is a real game. They are what I love about Pocketpair is they are not afraid to target every single sub market that they can, every segment of the market. Now, this is what is known, that we know is coming out. But I want to now discuss what is next for Palworld. I mean, you would think this is all there. I mean, this is more than enough, right? But remember, they have faced so much adversity in this in their journey, right? They have these ongoing Nintendo lawsuits. There was so much doubt in the market. There's a lot of negativity on the internet. It's calling them, a ripoff of Pokemon, and Nintendo was suing them. They weren't going to go anywhere. Not only are they now winning in court, but 1.0 is a smashing success. The card game is popping off. These are probably going to be sold out. Um, and I think that this sort of lays the groundwork for um, this. They're not going to stop here is what I'm trying to say. They are going to keep stretching beyond and attack more verticals and turn this into a mega brand. I probably should have made the new the new editions a different color. um but as you'll see now, obviously, let's start with the obvious, right? They're going to create DLC. Bucky, the community manager, already confirmed that they're working on a 1.1. It's not going to be anything crazy. They're probably going to do quality of life, maybe some new content, maybe a new pal here or there. Nothing crazy. But then I think they're going to probably start creating some DLC, which will be, maybe they'll increase the level range like to 90. That would be really cool. Maybe some new dungeons, maybe a new legendary, that sort of thing. And obviously they're going to work on a Pal World too. I'm sure they're probably already working on it, right? Probably a new section of the world with a new generation of pals, new content, that sort of thing. So Pal World 2 is almost a no-brainer at this point. Now, I'm putting Pal World FPS. So the game Pal World takes place many years after a devastating world war happened. So it's almost like a post-apocalyptic type of setting. Um, and I think this really lends itself to an FPS. Like, imagine, so in the lore of Pal World, the pals were used in times of war. So imagine you're playing like a soldier, and it's, I don't know, maybe like a Call of Duty type of game, but you're also able to summon pals. So maybe it's almost more like an Overwatch type of game, but not a hero shooter, but an open, deathmatch style. I don't know. Maybe it's like a Call of Duty game where you have a story mode, but then you have like an online mode where you're doing death matches and fun stuff like that. But I'm talking Palworld Battlefield essentially, but where you can summon pals. That would be so sick. And I think the game's lore and just the game in general, how it 1.0 kind of leans into being able to just shoot and hunt and attack pals. I think an FPS totally makes sense here. Next, I think an actual MMO. This is something Pokemon fans have been begging for, and decades later, we still don't have anything like that. And I think Nintendo just not acting to get. I guess they got comfortable. Nintendo thought that, and the Pokemon company, I guess they thought they could just be comfortable behind lawfare. So they probably thought that they weren't expecting any competition. They thought that Nintendo was just going to throw the suits and throw the suitcase at whoever would come up with something like Palworld. And I think they were blindsided by by Palworld and Pocketpair becoming such a legendary franchise already just a few years. I wonder now too if Nintendo's like, oh shit, we need to make an MMO because fans have been begging for it for, like I said, for decades. This is something we all dreamed about back in the day. Um, so if I was Pocket Pair, I would be working on a legit MMO. A server, a game where thousands of people can be playing on at the same time in a living game world. Maybe it's a traditional MMO with tag targeting and World of Warcraft type of thing. I don't know. Maybe it plays like old school RuneScape. I'm not sure how the specifics would be. Thinking out loud, it could even just be like what Palworld is right now, third person controlled with the same third person shooting style, but there's just thousands of people and you can do PvE, PvP, that sort of thing. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure in what direction they can take that in. I'm not sure. MMO is kind of the MMO market's in a weird spot right now. It's really dominated between World of Warcraft and old school RuneScape. So they would have to do a lot of player testing and a lot of player surveys to see what people are expecting. Thinking out loud again, I feel like you have to target more of the MMO RPG crowd because if you want running around shooting in third person, you have Palworld already. So mix it up. Make it more like a traditional MMO with RPG elements. That'd be really cool. Trading card game I think is going to keep popping off. Okay, so we're new stuff, right? Stuff that's going to be coming out. I think once Pocket Pair gets the okay and they win the trial and it's definite, case closed, I think we're going to see a Palworld 2D HD Pokemon like. So in the beginning of the game of Palworld, one of the first NPCs you bump into says that there's like a mainland. I'm assuming on like the other side of the globe. I think it would be perfect if Pocket Pair created a Pokemon like game, 2D HD, sort of like what we're seeing with that mod. Someone just recently created a recomp mod where you're playing Pokemon Yellow, Red, and Blue, but it's sort of this voxel based top down game and almost like a 2D HD, 3D ish environment. They should just do something like that. And the only combat is pals on pals. So as your player character, you're not running around shooting stuff and killing things. It's very cozy esque, and you're catching pals, you're training pals, and maybe you do sort of like a tournament where you're training to catch them all and beat sort of a tournament, sort of like you do in Pokemon. They can do something like that, and tournaments are just work out so well in that sort of anime environment. I mean, it's perfect, right? I mean, that's with Dragon Ball Z. There was a huge arc on that. We're talking anime now. Hunter x Hunter, just tournaments just lend themselves to great adventures, and I think a Pal World 2D HD would be perfect for that setting. So, and it's going to sell hotcakes, right? It's going to sell like hotcakes, right? There's going to sell millions of copies. Every kid is going to want one. Every woman's going to want one. And you know what? It should probably be in the both category. Guys are going to play it too. I like playing the old school Pokemon games. I love playing Pokemon Yellow on my analog pocket. It's awesome, right? The classics, you can't beat them. And next, I think we're going to see a Palworld anime. I don't. Has this even been? No, this hasn't been announced yet, right? No, I think it's inevitable, right? the The Pokemon anime was a generation defining. I'm trying to think of the word. It was generational. It was a phenomena. It's what started it's what got Pokemon to it's what sent Pokemon to the stratosphere. Everyone watched the Pokemon cartoon, and then you all went out and you bought the cards, and then you all played the games together, and you traded all the Pokemon together in the Game Boy games. It's like it's an ecosystem. It's a flywheel. This is what Pocketpair is trying to create. They're trying to create their own flywheel. There's people that play the 1.0 game, and then, ooh, I like to create the trading card game. This is literally what I'm doing right now. And oh, my wife likes to play Pal Farm, and oh, my kid wants to buy the cards, and oh, my kid wants a plushie. When he grows up, he's gonna want to play Pal World 1.0. But when he's a toddler, he's gonna play the 2D HD, and he's gonna watch the anime with us in the every weekend. And um Pal World Dating Sim's just far out there, but you know what? That's still gonna do. That's still gonna do really well. So it's sort of like this flywheel that attracts multiple segments of the market, and it's something. There's gonna be something for everyone in the family, right? We're all gonna play. I'm gonna play all these. I'm an MMO freak. I'm a huge MMO fan. I love World of Warcraft. I played Final Fantasy 14. I think a Pal World MMO would be so freaking awesome. I love first person shooter games. I love current Pal World. Um, there's just something for everyone in here, and that is what Pal. That is what Pocketpair is trying to establish here. Just something for everyone. And I love that they're experimenting here too. I think this is weird and bizarre, but the dating sim, but there's something for everyone. And we are going to see it's not going to take Pocketpair 20, 30 years to reach what the status of Pokemon. Pocketpair is already getting there. 30 million copies outsells almost all of the Pokemon games except for the OGs. Pocketpair is almost there. So and we have a lot of these already in progress. Palworld is going to be a household name if it isn't already. And this was a really fun exercise, kind of going over what is in store, because even though they've announced a lot of these, they're not. Pocketpair is just getting started. They're just getting started. So yeah, that's the video. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Oh, if you also in the comments, let me know. Do you want me to rip these? I'll rip these. Maybe I'll rip these on a stream. I don't know. Let me know, or maybe I'll just do a video. These are only two. These are only two boosters. Hey, you know what, guys? If I get enough subs and enough likes, and this really pops off, maybe I'll even rip this guy live. Let me know. But yeah, Palworld is awesome. I've actually been addicted to it. It's kind of why this video was. I've actually had the thumbnail created for this like 2 weeks ago. So I'm really sorry, guys. I've been addicted to this game. And it's great. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.